We are lives. Whiskey Wednesday, volume 4. It's me, your favorite domesticated moron, Metal. And over here to this side, or this side, whichever side he's appearing on this week, I have, as always, ACR Protect. Andrew is with us this evening.
Good evening. Good evening. Hope everyone's having a wonderful Wednesday, a whiskey Wednesday, and we're Metal. Sadly, we're really the nobodies. The person, the star of the show here today. Please welcome Big Bearded Warrior. Welcome, Jackson. Thank you for joining us.
Hey, thank you.
Welcome,
You for having me.
Oh my gosh, the chat just blew up. Here we go.
Boom.
We got Randall,
Now,
Adrian, Sister
Randall,
Kristen.
we got welcome all y'all in the chat. I threw out my little message, my post for the show, and I said we were going to have a special operations guest, SOG, Society of Goons.
I picked that up. That's
Easter egg. I love throwing out those little Easter eggs.
And again, I showed him. I'm supporting. Yep.
there we go.
Yep. Wearing the shirt. Lawfully in the chat, lurking. We got
Lawfully,
God,
welcome,
y'all.
sir.
Everyone's sitting on pins and needles waiting for the show. Sorry we were late. The three of us got chatting, having a good time before everyone got to join us. So, Metal, take it off.
All right. Well, I'm going to drop my camera to try and conserve some bandwidth because Xfinity still likes to flip me the bird. So I'm going to drop my camera here, guys. It's nothing personal. I'm still here. I'm just coming off camera here. Yeah, we wanted to have Big Bearded Warrior on tonight to showcase him and what he does. For those of you that don't know, he does a lot. The man wears a lot of hats, and we wanted to feature him here tonight so he can, talk to you guys about those hats that he wears. So tell us a little bit about yourself, Warrior, and the lore.
Nothing special. I've been doing the YouTube thing for a few years now. I kind of fell off for a while, work and life and whatnot, trying to figure all that out. Kind of got into this stuff. I spent a little bit of time in the military, a little bit of time in law enforcement. So it kind of came natural. I just saw like a need for, to fill a void for people of, different backgrounds to like get into this type of stuff. And I felt like I could feel it. So one day I sit in my basement drinking. I was like, I'm going to make a YouTube video. Went from there.
That's awesome. Quite frankly, I think you're a pioneer, sir. I'm happy with the growth of your channel. Oh, we got Prepared C and Scoot. Welcome. Thanks for popping in. Your channel, I know, would you say like probably the last maybe less than 4 months has really kind of taken off? Would you say you've seen a lot of growth in the last 4 months?
Yeah, definitely. I guess I just got a little bit more consistent with it. It can be kind of discouraging, you put a lot into like a video or something and not go anywhere and whatnot. But then I was like, well, they're just like reading through the comments or like people reaching out. There are people that are seeing value in whatever it is I'm putting out. So I was like, ultimately, that's the point of it all,
So I, for one, I've been following you a long time, man. Your channel's always been awesome. I mean that not just because you're on the show, but just truly. And lately with the push you've had with doing the shorts of the different fitness, man, it's truly helped me on my journey. Cause like I'll be having one of those days where like I got my rowing in and it's like I don't know if I want to lift. And then I'll see one of your shorts. I'll be like, I need to quit being a little bitch and go get after it. So I appreciate the push because it's one of those. I think we're just trying to make people better, put out solid knowledge to people, not a bunch of crap. And and I appreciate that you do that. You're honest in your videos. You're a true person. It's not like what you see is what you get with Mr. Jackson over here. It's not like this is how he is, and then he's all mousy off off screen or something. Like, you were true, and that's awesome. And I love the purity, sir. Truly.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah. And last night, whenever we were getting everything set up and doing all the studio stuff and whatnot, walking him through how all this works and everything, we were sitting there just shooting the breeze for a while. It was like we were just like two buddies just sitting around a campfire, like we've been buds for like ever. It's like totally cool.
That's funny, because Jackson and I had a similar conversation earlier this week, just talking about how I live in Houston. I'm surrounded by all these people that I really don't give a damn about, but having a great conversation with someone that's into the same things, it's cool. It's if anything, YouTube has brought me together with people that you wouldn't see, because you're in the Midwest and he's out east and I'm in Texas. And so it's awesome, man. It's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, that's, I guess, one thing that the internet has been good for is building community and whatnot.
Yeah, exactly. We have, just kind of recapping on some of the folks in the chat here. We have Prepared Citizens, Twin Arrows Survival, Demo Man Don, Scoot, Sister Krista, Team Quack Attack, Adrian. Yep. Pilgrim popped in. He's in listening mode. Let's see. Lawfully, got a lot of folks in here. Demo Man Don. I don't know if I said his name. He's in here. Just so everyone knows it. So we got Metal. If you just popped in, Metal's here, trying to save a little bit of bandwidth by turning his camera off there. And we got Big Bearded Warrior in here. Teresa just popped in. Awesome. But Warrior's doing it from a mobile device, and so it's kind of hard to do that in the chat. So I'm going to be the loudmouth for everybody, because I'm good at it. So
he's been training his whole life for this moment.
That's right. So that'll be a Friday topic. I will talk about that if someone wants to remind me about speech classes. Anyhow, Metal and I were talking a few weeks ago about people we'd love to have on the channel, and of course, Jackson, Big Bearded Warrior, was one of our top ones, and one of the things we really wanted to discuss was the challenge you put out for the Gear Up, Ready Up challenge, that really, I feel it took off. I feel a lot of people got out there. I've said it on multiple chats. I've learned something from everybody that's done it. And I think everybody that's done it has learned something about themselves, like, oh, hell, this took longer than expected, or, oh, hell, I don't do this enough, right? Because it's one of those, if you don't use it, you lose it, right? Like, maybe all of us are used to putting on our EDC and our, that type of stuff, but putting on the plate carrier, putting on the LBV, putting on all that stuff, if you don't do it, like, you are slow AF. Like, you got to wear the gear, you got to get out and do it. So what pushed you to do that, to start the challenge and get all that going?
It was it's something that I realized that I needed to start doing, and I kind of figured, maybe other people need to start doing it. Realistically, a lot of people get into this shit, and it just becomes like a big gear thing. People buy all this gear and it just sits in their closet. It never really sees the range. It never sees dirt or anything like that. And so it was just like an initial push to get people to get their gear out, put it on, test it out. You're not going to really understand what you like and what's comfortable for you or what works for you in your setup unless you actually put it on and go do things. Like, I'm an odd duck, so I'll even put it on and I'll vacuum my house or something like that, just because it's a natural movement. I want to see like how it feels to do certain things. So it was just a push to kind of like make people think about, hey, like I need to put this on. I need to get used to this because you start running and you start, doing the things, you're gonna realize very quickly like this is not Call of Duty. So it's better to
Right.
figure that out, before bullets start flying.
That's so you were exactly on it there. Grit and Grace just joined us. Thank you, Grace. Welcome. So first of all, you're in good company. I know for a fact with myself and Metal and several people in the chat. I have been. So I live in town. I have about a half acre in town, and for years, I have mowed my yard with a get home bag or something like that. And it's the weed eating, it's the mowing, it's climbing over shit because like you said, it's their movements that I'm not in the woods. I'm not blessed to have an acreage out in the woods. I'm in town, but I can wear that stuff. Yes. Do I look weird to the neighbors? Yes. But I was weird before, so it doesn't really matter. But doing that stuff, like walking around with a weed eater, it's like walking around with a rifle.
Yeah.
Yeah, pushing a mower it might be like pushing debris out of your way or something. I don't know. But it's and then just getting all those steps in, walking backwards, pulling, dragging, stepping, stooping, crouching, all with that gear. And I know when I did that patrol with Randall's Little Adventures, where we did the property patrol, that's when I told myself, I'm not doing enough squats. Squatting down with that gear and then getting back up. Yeah, you notice it really quick, especially when you're old and fat like me and you have bad knees. You definitely notice it. So I thank you for the challenge. I have been doing more of it just because it's literally. So I'm in my office, all my shit's like right there, staged just like it was in the video. And I'll just be in here and I'll be like, I wonder how long it's going to take me to put all this shit on it. And I just do it. I don't film it or anything. It's just, hey, let me do this and see if I'm going to get any better and any faster, because that's what it's about. Hell yeah.
No, that's something I found too. When I was doing the challenge, like, okay, what am I going for? Because I have some things to pick from. And the way I don one.
Ruh-roh. Metal, you still there? We still got you, Metal? We can. Internet problems. Whoever Xfinity is needs to get their ass kicked. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Metal, let us know when you're back. So with your gear, Jackson. So what do you prefer to be called? Do you prefer to be called Jackson? Do you prefer? I call you Warrior just because I think you are one. What do you prefer to be called?
You call me Jackson. Yeah, it doesn't matter to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
I say it too loud. My oldest son's going to come in here and say, "What?" So you stage your gear. You do kind of like a tote, like a box, like a gearbox, right?
Yes.
Do you? How do you find that? Is that working well for you? Do you see that evolving into something else? Because I know a lot of us also have like more than one kit, right? Like we all got a couple different kits. Do you feel that's kind of like what you have? That is the best. That's working the best for you.
Yeah, it really just stems down to so I travel a lot for work, and I wanted something that I could, just put in under the seat of my truck and not draw a lot of attention. And so realistically for me, the tow is what, works. It's something easy enough that I can grab. It has wheels, so I don't have to really worry about weight or anything like that. I did find that I added some cordage to the outside because there's no extended handle. So being able to utilize those wheels, I added the cord on the outside so I can kind of just drag it along if I'm being a lazy bitch. That I like it. I did want to eventually, I guess, when I'm not traveling so much, I will probably build a stand or something like that. Have my little Batman setup, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, get Jarvis to put all the gear on you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So it looks like we lost Metal here. We'll give him a minute to pop back on. Again, I think the challenge was great. I know there's a lot of different challenges going around in the community right now. There's so many good ones, but I think that one was a wake up call for a lot of people. I think it was just damn, like this we don't put this on all the time. I mean, short of being an active duty soldier, an active duty police officer, whatever, where something where you're doing it all the time, it's foreign, right? And it's one of those, if it's not, it's a skill set that can be lost. If you don't shoot very often, you're gonna suck. If you don't practice martial arts very often, you're gonna suck. And if you don't practice putting your gear on, you're gonna suck. That's just it. Metal, you back, sir?
I am.
Excellent. Excellent. Yeah. So Lawfully threw something in the comments here, like a gear tree. Yeah, I think that's what Jackson was talking about. That's definitely what I need to build. I know Metal and Twin Arrows were talking about building some type of gear tree. I think if you have a static area where you can keep that, like Jackson said, like the Batman suit cave, where you can just go in there and I'm gonna go put on my suit. You can,
that's kind of where I'm fortunate in the aspect that I have the cave here. Literally, I have everything hanging on the wall. I have a dresser over here with all my clothing and gear and everything in it. And I can just select, cool, we're going to go do boog shit. Well, what do I wear?
The pink elephant thong. Always wear the pink elephant thong. That's always
It goes without saying.
That's right.
If you get captured and, that's really like, just a shock factor.
That's right.
Give you a few seconds to get that throat drop in there.
They all got the ski masks on. They're like, were you? Did you know that he? Is he really fucking wearing that? Like, and then boom, you're gone. Then my fat ass is over there running. It's great. Great plan.
I don't even want to torture this guy anymore.
He's tortured us. He did the reverse psychology. He got us again.
It's like the guys getting ready to get in a street brawl and they strip down to a freaking,
tie you a
next
sword
to nothing is like a little G-string or something.
Yeah.
Chasing them down the street wearing a tea bag.
That was good.
I've always said, like, you haven't really lived until you Beowulf. Because if you remember the movie Beowulf, he fights Grendel ass naked.
Oh yeah.
And
yep.
Holes.
So prior to testing that theory, I suggest everyone try jumping rope naked first. I'm just saying, you're gonna find out, men and women alike. You're gonna find out shit's gonna go all over the place. I don't know. It's gonna be. Don't film it, please. Don't film it. I mean, there might be some room for that on Pornhub. I don't know.
That's like a Johnny Depp thing.
Things will happen.
Right. That's right. He knows. Oh, Metal. So you're back with us. I've been over here just kind of running my mouth, trying to entertain the.
No, you're fine, man. You're fine.
But you definitely had a structured itinerary. So please let's go to it.
I totally did. I am currently posting Big Bearded Warriors website in the chat for you folks. Make sure you're going over there and showing him some love. Goon Squad and everything. Awesome. Looking at jumping on there and getting some stuff for myself. We wanted to talk about the Ready Up Challenge because I think that inspired a lot of people to get off their butt and actually do something and keep doing something. As far as gear is concerned, you don't know what's going on with your stuff until you, for lack of better terms, finger fuck it. I mean, You don't know. Now there's some other stuff that Warriors getting into here. You talked to me last night about the barbells up and bottles down. Do you want to go into that and explain to the chat what's going on with that and what it's about?
So, barbells up, bottles down. It's like a mental health push. Within the community or just in life, I feel like mental health is not something that's like really taken seriously, especially for men. So I've had a few buddies like kill themselves and whatnot, and a lot of that has stemmed around addiction, if it be drugs or alcohol. So I just figured instead of, drinking or something like that, let's put that into uh productive activity, something that's gonna, make you feel good. Uh and then kind of make a community activity, because there's plenty of people that, instead of just, hey, like, let's go sit and have a beer, like, let's go do a ruck, or let's go hit the gym, you know, let's make ourselves strong, together. That's the big push, is really building this community, and holding each other accountable. I think, training and fitness, those are two things that are extremely overlooked. Uh, and it's important to check on your homies, so you can kind of do it all through this. Yeah. Hit metal drop again.
Awesome.
Oh no,
Nope,
God.
I'm here.
Okay.
Nope, I'm here. No, I think that's awesome. It's a lot of times when people have something negative going on in their life, they may not even see it as negative. It's just status quo. It's just the usual, right? So whenever you introduce something more positive, a lot of those negative things start to like fade to black. I've noticed myself with different things. So, getting yourself physically active, objects in motion tend to stay in motion, objects at rest tend to stay at rest. It's not like you're out, pumping the iron or going for a jog or hitting the bike, hitting the rowing machine, anything like that, while you're, you know, drinking pounders. I mean, back in my army days, maybe, but but the normal folk, you're not doing that. If you're focusing on the positive and the good and making yourself better and, inspiring somebody else to be better, and not just you yourself, but getting your homies involved too, and getting them to set aside the bottle and go for a ruck with you.
I think it's great. I I agree. I think if you I say that as I'm literally drinking a beer, but truly redirecting that energy, because I tell one of the things I tell myself, well, if I'm gonna have a cocktail, I need to have worked out first. But in the evenings, like, because I've been trying to do, I'm acting like old football days or some shit. Which I sucked at football, didn't play. I was a wrestler, but anyhow, like 2-a-days, and that's kind of been my workout routine. Every morning I get up and I do my rowing, and then I try to do some lifting or kettlebells or something. Then in the afternoons, I try to either do an additional lifting session or a ruck or something like that. And if I'm doing that, guess what? If I do that after I get home from work, I definitely, you don't want to drink right after working out, because it's one, you'll get tanked faster than you can, say cat in a hat, and two, you've negated everything you've done. And so, I like it. I like it. I think that's a great challenge. I think a lot of us, me included, sometimes the bottle is just too convenient, and so put that energy towards something else. We all joke around about the 12-ounce curls. All right, stop being a bitch and do regular curls. I support it.
Go to a full pound.
Yeah.
I mean, real men drink
Or
40s,
several full pounds. Right? Man.
Let's see. We got some people.
And yeah, let's see what the chat's got for us here.
Yeah, so chat, please, if you've got some questions for Jackson here, please throw them in the chat. We'll throw them at him here. See if you got some brain busters for him. He's pretty sharp dude. I don't know if you're gonna be able to stump him on anything.
No, I totally got the tism.
Risen with the tism.
Yeah. Oh,
Mando got me a sticker for my ammo cabinet that says "My autism hates communism."
I love that. I love that a lot.
Oh, FYI, the swag that you sent me, the stickers I've got, again, they're conveniently on my beer / water fridge now because I'm trying to be better. So there's water in there too. Not
You
just
got
beer.
got some Bud Light in there or something, water.
Yeah, seltzer.
Yeah.
Bud Light seltzer. In case I
This
feel
and
like
that
being
with
a total
Matt.
bitch.
Welcome to the chat, sir.
Oh, hey, this and that with Matt. I don't know why my chat isn't keeping up. How you doing, sir? There's another great channel, This and That with Matt, doing MRE eating challenges. Now, I wouldn't say it's a challenge. Well, you eat some interesting stuff, dude. That's let's see. Any other? Oh, we see. We have Grit and Grace. We've got Martin in the balcony, hanging out here.
You know, Grit and Grace, I also have that yeehawtism.
Oh, so Lawfully put something in here. Vincent Morin, vet, murdered by Florida police. He was walking with his kit and threatened no one. I'll need to GPS that.
I read about that. Like they were saying that they shot him because he looked scary or something like that. Like
so Lawfully, I'm going to ask: was he walking around with his rifle? And I know, like, even places like here in Texas, I know you can do it. You can walk around with a rifle. All I'm saying is,
doesn't mean it's a good idea.
If you walk around downtown Houston with a rifle, you're gonna catch attention, and it's not always going to be positive. That's but I mean, if that's the case, like, again, I walk the neighborhood with mollied packs and plate carriers and stuff. Now, usually if I wear the plate carrier, I've got like a vest or something over it. Yeah, the vest that everyone hates, my vest.
I love that vest.
I love it too. That's why I got
It's
like
fantastic.
9 of them.
You know,
It's like
what
a
I invested in for like situations just like that, if I want to go for like a ruck and full kit or something, I got one of those rubber duckies. I know everyone is remember those blue rifles. They freaking suck, but it's a nice alternative instead of, you know, carrying your actual rifle looking like a madman.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually a good idea. I mean, we have our training pistols, but a lot of people don't get into the training rifles.
Yeah, no, I mean they're kind of expensive. It's like about $200 for one. So
you can damn near buy a regular AR for the price.
Yeah. That, you know, if you can't, like, you know, if you don't have your own land or something like that, or if you know, even going to parks and whatnot, it's kind of sucks because someone's gonna definitely call the police, and it's you know, I guess it's a dependent on the officer and the level of training and whatnot, how they perceive it. But
yeah,
I get a lot of lucks because I go out, and when I go out, I have like my gas mask and all that kind of stuff on for the breathing, for like the, you know, restricted breathing, so I'm having to labor harder when I'm moving. But like I don't go out with like my regular plate carrier. I go out with like the training plate carriers.
like one of those like 511 plate carriers.
Yeah, I'm not that rich, so I went for like the Amazon special.
Okay.
Yeah. No, that's a great. I don't have a gas mask yet, but that would be a game changer, wearing a gas mask and doing physical activity. You would get tanked so fast.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, put that gas mask on while you row. That's yeah.
I wore my plate carrier and rode. I did it exactly one time. I thought I was going to die. That shit was terrible.
I've been getting into rowing lately because of you. I neglect my row machine. It just sits there. I actually sit on it and smoke weed. But, you know,
Not its proper intention.
So I've been getting into rowing way more. I was like, man, that is a very like full body workout. So I'll do it. Like I kind of like implemented it into like I have been doing more like high intensity, like short burst of high intensity workouts. So I'll do like rowing. I'll do like 500 rows at the beginning of my workout, and then I'll like do my workout, and then at the very end for my burnout, I'll do another 500 rows. And
Now, something I want to preface for the gas mask training: you don't want to have like a CBurn filter on the thing. You want to have like just like a regular like dust filter.
okay,
Because you have to do serious labored breathing to pull air through the CBurns. Your pulse ox is going to drop massively. So you want to make sure that you're just using like the dust filters. So that way you're not like, trying to
Stroking
knock
out.
yourself out.
yeah, I was like,
Yeah,
it's a good thing
because that's another thing you have to get used to using. Like we had to train in Mopsy and stuff like that in CBurn gear. So just saying.
I'm glad to hear you doing the rowing there, Jackson, because that changed my life. When my brother turned me on to rowing, like my back feels better. Like it's one of those, like I do it first thing in the morning, and you can change it up. You can go faster, you can go slower, you can, like you said, do like the circuit training and the bursts and stuff like that. In fact, the thing I found more challenging lately, because I've been doing the rowing for like the last 5 years, that assault bike or the combat bike or whatever you want to call it,
Ooh.
that whoops my, if I do 5 minutes on that, I'm gassed. I'm gassed if I'm going 5 minutes on that pretty hard. And so that just tells me I need to do it more, which I think also kind of ties in, like, I'm no fitness expert. You need to go talk to like Grunt Proof or something like that. I'm no poster child of health, but I think changing up your workouts, you've got to like shock your body a little bit. If you do the same thing every time, your body gets used to it and it's not really challenging. So you got to find the things that wear you out. That's going to make you stronger.
If you adapt to your workouts, it's you're never going to advance.
Right.
So yeah, doing weird stuff is definitely, like I've lately, like I've been focused on like, I've never really cared about like looking good, like, like being aesthetically pleasing, like muscle wise, but I've always valued being stronger than, because I'm not a very tall guy. I'm the shortest black guy that I know. So
wait, you're black? No. I do that to my wife and kids all the time. It's fucking hilarious. I'm sorry.
So I've always like valued just like being stronger. So lately I've just, like it's been like a real big push for me, like realizing like in my head, I think I'm still like this young, buff 20-something-year-old freaking stud, badass motherfucker. And then like reality sits, like I'll like start walking up the stairs or something, and I'm like, oh shit, here's something cracking or whatever. Like I'm like, all right, yeah, I definitely need to go do a push-up or two. And like, so
mortality comes for us all.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Our cool nemesis, gravity. Gravity in full effect.
So like I got into like sandbags recently, and those things are, if you're wanting something crucial, it's very technical because you're having to really plan how you're going to lift those things up. And I like the value of, like, in my thought process, like an average man in America is around 200 pounds. And I'm a firm believer in being able to pick motherfuckers up and throw them. So I got like a 200-pound sandbag, and I just pick that sumbitch up and chuck it every once in a while. Almost chucked myself the first time, but that's not here nor there.
Where's that short? I want to see that short, bro. I know you got that film somewhere.
I deleted it. It doesn't exist anymore.
This ain't gonna work for the image. Oh, guys, so catching up with the chat here. We have Sassy, we have Robert in the chat. So all these good folks in here hanging out. We've got Metal, we've got Big Bearded Warrior here joining us tonight. Such a good community, good chat here. Metal, I know you had a couple more topics that you definitely wanted to get in on and have Jackson talk about here.
Absolutely. Tell us a little bit about your website and what the Society of Goons is.
Okay. So Society of Goons, it's a push for men to just be better, to create a society of capable men. We live in a world now where it's frowned upon to be a strong masculine man, an example of, you know, not being a bitch, for lack of better words. I just think that there's like been like a real push for like the pussification of the American man. So Society of Goons, I want it to be like a kind of like a bat signal. If you see someone wearing that, then you know that's someone that's capable, someone that is definitely going to be able to handle business when business needs to be handled. And by any means, I'm not saying like go out be a psychopath, but if you have to be, then you know, bring that goon out. And there's so many people with diverse backgrounds that are in this community. I feel like there's no reason that no one should like you should always be learning. The day that you've learned everything, then you might as well just lay down and die. That there's so much knowledge available that there's no reason that we can't become some strong, capable, badass motherfuckers. So that's the big push behind Society of Goons. And as far as Big Bearded Warrior website, though, my whole what I do for work, I do private investigation, private security. When I worked in law enforcement, I worked Vice mostly, and I worked on a couple of task force dealing with human trafficking. So it's something that I have a lot of experience in. I didn't feel like we were actually really taking care of it properly in law enforcement. One of my biggest reasons for leaving was because it became a political tool instead of actually policing. I'm big on community policing. I'm big on I don't know if anyone in the chat has read The Fourth Generation of Warfare, but there's a subject gone over in The Fourth Generation of Warfare, and it's David and Goliath theory. And what that is you can go into a community and you can be Goliath, so you can be this overwhelming force, and you can make people hate you essentially. So you can come in, no knock warrant, take someone's dad away, and now you just created the next generation of people that are gonna hate you and try to kill you. Or you could be David. You can go in and educate, protect, actually try to solve problems and not create them. And people are going to willingly come to you, give you information, look to you as their guardians. And that's what like pretty much from a law enforcement point of view, that's what the David and Goliath theory is. So when we in law enforcement, we're having to police to adhere to whatever's going on politically, we're pretty much fighting with one hand behind our back. And I'm just not interested in that. So I left. And so I started out just doing security, and I was doing like investigation for like lawyers and whatnot, or like insurance companies, and that's all great. It kept the bills paid. But in the back of my head, I I was just always thinking like, there's more that I could be doing. There was someone I used to deal with when I was in law enforcement. She was a prostitute. She got killed, and she was 19 years of age when she died. And I found her in a trash can, and someone put her there. That was someone's child. And I think about it all the time, like that, maybe that there was more that I could have done, but there was plenty that was preventing me from doing it. Like my job didn't allow me to do certain things. So I set out to combat it in a real ways I'm not going to really go into. But that's how I fund my little missions that I go on, is through my apparel and stuff like that. So yeah, that's the background behind BigBeardedWarrior.com.
To sum that up, you help save people. You are saving people. You are literally like the Dark Knight. When you were talking about David and Goliath, it made me think of Batman. What is one of Batman's hugest, like his biggest strengths, is he is an active listener, which helps him immensely when it comes to his detective work. Yeah, I'm nerding out there, but it's true. You are actually a superhero, and I thank you for what you do, brother.
That's definitely a lot of behind the scenes stuff, man. Like that's, you're right. So, so many times people have their, in agencies have their hands tied behind their back, and they want to do so much more, and they can't. And then you got, like you said, politicians are going to be politicians, and we don't have, there's, you know how a politician's lying, their fucking mouth is open, right? Right.
Mhm.
So, people playing this game, and it's like it's affecting lives. Like you said, that's someone's kid. That's someone's kid. That's someone's daughter that doesn't get to go home, right? That doesn't, and it's sadly, the human trafficking thing has gone awry. Like it is out of control. Like it's not. I'm not saying that when we were kids, that there weren't abductions and shit like that happening, but I honestly believe it's happening more. Like I'm not saying it didn't happen then. I think it's happening more now, and it's one of those people get snatched up, men, women, girls, kids, boys, and no, it's terrible. It's horrible.
So there in Texas, you're actually in like a really hot spot for trafficking. If you go to like the hood, you go to like hotels and whatnot, the little ghetto hotels, little ghetto gas stations and whatnot, truck stops, you'll actually see a lot of signage. It says like if you see something, say something, and that is actually referring to people being trafficked. When I got when I got to Wisconsin, there was not a lot of education behind it was very unknown. As in, for most street cops, you're taught, like you're looking for drugs and you're looking for guns. That's just the mentality of a street cop. Nothing wrong with it, whatever. But there wasn't enough education behind, like there's SOPs that could be created, that could be taught, to where like street cop can identify a person that is being trafficked. And so that's something else that I'm like really trying to work on, to push, to get out there. And it's not even something that just needs to be taught to law enforcement, because there are plenty of times where people are seeing this and they don't realize it. Like if like teachers or EMTs, churches, social workers, doctors. There's all kinds of stuff there's all kinds of people that are making contact with these victims that they have no clue, like, hey, this is definitely a person that's being trafficked. So if we can, get that out there and, make it a more publicized thing, then, we can really make a effective change, like cut the head off the snake, if you will. But the reason it is so successful is because it's all done very hush hush like in the shadows. It's very clandestine. Uh, so you kind of have to think like a criminal to outsmart these particular criminals.
That noise right there, like some of these low level criminals are part of it and they don't even know because they're fucking oblivious, right? They don't even know that they're part of a bigger a bigger scheme there.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's not, it's not like the movies. It's real life. And when they're done with these people, if they find no value in human life, these sacks of shit. That's about the nicest fucking thing I can say. If someone's doing that, you're a sack of shit. That, you know what, ammo's expensive, but you know what, I got one for you.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I got a spare.
There's actually like there's a couple of different organizations out there. I'll have to send you like a text or something. That there's like trucker organizations that they help women that are being like trafficked and whatnot. I can't think of the name of the organization, but there are a couple of different ones. They're just guys that are men and women that at truck stops. That's that's a big hotspot for stuff like for activities like that. And so a lot of them carry. They see something happening, they'll get on the phone with the locals, and and they'll try to put themselves in between that the victim and the asshole.
Yeah.
For lack of I want to say something else, but
no, that's a good term.
Yeah.
That's a good term. It's fitting, very fitting.
It's very fitting.
Yeah.
So you're right. I agree. Like, like everyone's heard the term lot lizard, and I have no doubts there's some hoery going on at truck stops. There have been forever, but there is a podcast that my wife got me onto when we were doing a lot of traveling back to Colorado. It was called Melanin Mayhem. And if you haven't Googled that, this woman's hilarious, but all the stories are about like serial killers and stuff like that. They're all people of color. But one of the stories was exactly what you're talking about. This guy, he was a trucker and he was going all over the country, just, literally just picking up women, fucking picking them up in fucking Omaha, Nebraska, fucking dumping them in Reno, Nevada. And that shit's happening. Like, it's just, it's runaways, it's human trafficking, it's a whole bunch of stuff, and it's predators attacking prey.
Yeah.
Going after victims because they're usually a bunch of fucking cowards, and it's horse shit.
That was actually like one of the first cases I ever worked on. When I started this project, I found a girl at the time. She had just turned 18, and this guy had been grooming her for a few years. He turned out to be a pimp, and he convinced her to like leave with her. And since she was an adult, her parents couldn't really do anything. And long story short, she got in contact with her parents, and they were on the phone with her, and the guy was like beating the crap out of her. And eventually they found me, and through a colleague, and I went and found her. And I tell you, like, that really like sparked like something in me. That's when I knew that like God had put me down the right path, because I know that she would have probably been dead soon if I hadn't found her. And so it was a motivator for me, and I guess that's what motivates me now to I say like get strong and efficient at violence, because sometimes you got to do some hood rat shit, even if it's
Hey, man.
I knew you were
Truth.
I've been waiting for it. I've been waiting for it.
I'm smiling over here too.
Yeah. It's one of those, like one of the catchphrases I would do no harm, but take no shit. You know what I mean? Like, it's one of those, like, I have nothing to prove. You know, I just want to go about my day. But if you want to FAFO, okay, let's go.
Yeah.
I mean, it's better to be a warrior in the garden than a gardener in the war.
Sure.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
And I think I hate like there is like a real thing like now like where I meet like plenty of guys that they're like, oh, like I can't believe you just hit that guy, and I was like, I can't believe you did it. Like
Right.
don't be a bitch. Like
Yeah.
nut
Yeah.
up. But
Real men
I
of
digress.
peace are capable of extreme violence, but
That's
they
true.
have the aptitude and the constitution to be able to turn it on when they need it and turn it back off when they don't. And those men are the ones that have the most compassion, have the kindest hearts, and are the most willing to help anybody at any time. But they're also capable of helping those find out.
Yeah. Arranging
So-
the meeting. Yeah. Meet Jesus.
Subcontractors for Sky Daddy.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
So we
Yeah.
are coming up on. We got about 8 minutes, and we're trying to be aware of Big Bearded Warriors time. I want to kind of throw this out there to the chat here. I know the chat's been kind of going. I've been watching it. Any specific questions for Jackson? While I'm waiting on those questions, get onto his website. Go get a shirt. I'm gonna order more shirts. I'm gonna order more shirts and stickers, and be selective in who I hand those out to, because I think you're right. I think it builds that community. If you see someone out wearing one of those, you know, it's like, okay, I know that if something goes down, this motherfucker's got my back. You know, this person's not gonna sit here and be, you know what they're gonna do? Oh, I'm gonna put this on World Star.
Right?
Shut the fuck up. And that's a story for another day, because I've been in a fight and someone filmed while I was in a fight, and I'm talking like, as mad as I was at the dude that I was pouring a 55-gallon drum of whoop ass on, the person filming had my fucking blood boiling. Like, it's just one of those. Because if you have time to do that, I'm not saying maybe you don't know how to fight, but you know what you can do? You can go get help. You can go do something, you know. And then, like you said, promote people to be better, stronger, and more efficient at violence, and kick ass and take names when you need to. You know, that's a fact. We got Robert in the comments saying, "Hey, keep doing what you're doing, brother." To Jackson here, yeah. Jackson's doing more than I'll tell you, he's doing more than any of his subs probably knew, me included. And so we definitely got to get this out there. People that are actually impacting change. That there's not enough of you, sir. There's not enough of you going out and making positive change and impacting people's lives and saving them, literally, you know.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. Thank you.
Metal, did you have anything on your notes? Did anything else you wanted to capture?
No, I've been sporadically throwing out the website here in the chat, just so that way everybody can see it, get that link, and go over to it. Yeah, honestly, I was cruising through after we got off the call last night, and I'm like, man, I like that shirt, that hat, that you know, I'm going through. I'm like, okay, I need to get me some Goon Squad gear, because honestly, I've talked before about my one of my mentors has Veterans for Child Rescue, and this is the same kind of organization type thing, I would say. So I want to support that wholeheartedly every way I can. So you will be seeing Goon Squad and your website popping up on my Spotify, on my YouTube, on my Facebook, on my Twix, all over the place.
And I know you can't see the chat, Jackson, but you got everybody in this chat's in your corner. You know, we got Randall, we got Jacob Two-Way, we got Quack, we got Martin, we
Cajun.
got Cajun popped in here. Yeah, no,
I got my
Memo-
camera off, Cajun.
Yeah, he's having technical difficulties. We're gonna after this, myself, Metal, and Warrior are gonna go beat the shit out of Xfinity. Gonna give them. We're gonna tune them up. That's an old school term. I'm a big fan. I think more people need to be tuned up. Like it's one of those. He's like, do you see that little Batman movie did there? It was in and out. But it's one of those like, if you said something stupid, and you know, and you were a dick, you know, don't be a dick. That's one of my big. It's like my biggest rule. Like my dad is definitely more cultured than I am. He's like, hey, do one to others as you'd have done to you, and I think that's a great rule. Mine is don't be a dick. And he's looking down on me right now. He's like, my son is absolutely being a dick.
I should have named him Richard.
That's right. That's right. Oh, Bobby B. Bobby B made it in. Grit and Grace says, great story. Man, I tell you, Warrior, it has absolutely been a pleasure. I feel we shorted you. I think we need to do another one with him.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Whenever
you know,
it works out, we'll get that going.
And then when you come to Texas, I definitely I'd love to do a meetup. I know we've talked about some different collabs and stuff like that offline. Man, just meeting you and shaking your hand is already good enough for me. But if we can do some other goon shit, hell yeah. Hell yeah. I might even let Johnny Depp come out. That's all I'm saying. I might let
All right. As long as he doesn't come out.
As long as he doesn't come out.
Yeah. He needs to keep his little dinghy at the pier.
Be the longest 2 inches of your life.
Hey, a 2-inch Punisher is still a Punisher.
That's right. Remember, the Disappointments Room isn't a horror movie. It's sex with.
She looked at him and said, "Who are you pleasing with that?" He's like, "Myself."
Just like
Bend
Bernie
over
Mac
and I'll show you.
Bernie Mac's famous words: "You better get yours before I get mine."
That's right. Man, that's good.
Love Bernie Mac.
He's missed. The Kings of Comedy. You can watch that 100 times over and laugh harder every time.
It never will get old. Yeah, that's for sure.
No, timeless.
When the worst comedian of that group is D.L. Hughley, like and he's still pretty funny. You know, like.
Man, for me it was Steve.
So Steve Harvey, honestly, his home right now is on Family Feud because he's quick and he's witty and he does good there. I don't think you could hang with those guys.
No.
Yeah, he's crossed over. He's domesticated now. He's getting that good people money. You know, he's getting that real money now. So now he's like, oh, I can't go back to my hood rat ways.
That's right.
Two things I will say for Steve Harvey is his suits are freaking amazing. And man, he got some good cigars.
He has his own cigars, or he just buys
the cigars, like the cigars he has, like out of this world, like amazing cigars.
I'm like new into the whole cigar thing. I feel so classy too when I smoke cigars. Like one of my clients got me like hardcore into cigars, so. Although, if you guys got any suggestions, throw them my way.
Absolutely,
for sure.
So my dad. So I got my dad into cigars, and then I got out of cigars, and then my dad had this neighbor that they used to go. Like his neighbor would smoke cigars, but his wife would get pissed, so he'd have the cigars sent to my dad's house, and. They'd go, but they'd always say, we smoke cheap cigars and drink expensive bourbon. I'm like, I guess I can get behind that. The key thing is, I'll tell you right now, if you want some goods, because you can spend a lot of money on a stick. You really can.
Mm-hmm.
I am a huge fan of going to like a cigar shop, like a hole in the wall place that's not like a huge brick and mortar where you find all the regular stuff. Like they have their own brand. I got a place here in my area the guy's Cuban. You go get a Cuban coffee and you get some cigars, but he has seconds where they've rolled them and maybe the paper's not as perfect. At one point in time, he was selling $2 seconds. I was getting $20 cigars for $2. They're like, oh, it's imperfect. I was like, it's literally on fire. I don't care. I don't care.
I'm smoking it.
Oh, it's not perfect. Let me
go up
poke
in
it in your
flames.
eye. Is it perfect now?
Hitting up the chat here. Cajun said it's okay. Warrior, I used to smoke acid brand cigars. There are some really good acid brand cigars. The Drew Estate cigars, there are some that are actually really good. So don't sell them short.
I think I've had one of those before. Like they're like in like a blue packaging.
Blue metallic.
They're flavored usually.
Like the acid blondies, acid Kubas, Leisure Suit Larry.
The Kubas I've had, okay.
You did not just say Leisure Suit Larry.
They literally have one called a Leisure Suit Larry.
Get the fuck out of here. Does anyone remember
got a yellow,
that video
It's
game?
got a yellow metallic wrapper on it, just like his suit.
Yes. The
Like
video
the
game
color.
was crazy. Yeah. We're gonna find out who's old enough in this chat right now with Leisure Suit Larry.
Right.
I
haven't heard that, or thought about that in years.
I know. That's the Monte Cristo number 2s. That's Robert suggesting that one. I was always a fan of Romeo Julietta's. I think that's just a good everyday mild cigar. Also, Cohiba. Everyone knows about Cohiba, but they are good. Like I do like
my
them.
work around the house, like smash around the house, go out fishing cigar. I always get the Gordo Grandes by Elephant Butts. They're cheap, but they will last for a while. Like if you're out fishing and you're like trying to keep the flies away and the bugs away and stuff, just keep one of those rolling. And
Arturo Fuentes are very good. They're affordable too. Randall's talking about Honduran cigars. Quite frankly, everyone talks about Cuban cigars. I've had them, but quite frankly, some of the best cigars I've had have been Dominican, Honduran. Personally, I mean, and again, I'm not an aficionado by any means. We got Cricket. Oh, Cricket joined us. Cricket's in the house.
I literally have my cutter right here. One of them.
What about punches? What's your take, Jackson? Do you like a cutter? Or do you like a punch?
I like the satisfaction of the cutting.
You pretend someone's fingers in there, don't you? Like I do.
I really do, actually. I really do. Like my mother didn't love me enough. Don't judge me.
No, it is. It's so for the satisfaction of doing the cut, and again, because I was like, okay, knuckle one, tell me what I want to know. I'm gonna keep working. For the smoke though, the punch works a little bit better if you want a good so what you can do is you like especially if it's a longer cigar and you get multiple days out of it. I like to do the initial punch and then I'll cut the end when I'm done smoking it and then I'll save it because guess what? There's humidity here in Texas, so I can leave my cigar outside. It's like a fucking humidor all the time,
right?
And then
that's what I do. I punch, and initially I'll punch, and then I use the cutter to snap it off if it's a long one. But like if I'm just like going old freaking grunt type, I just cut it. And
so what's your preferred lighting method, Jackson? Match, torch,
yeah,
torch,
the torch, yeah. I've had like some bad experiences with matches. So it's just really me being a bitch that, a torch, and a torch I could carry around and do other activities with.
Yeah.
So,
the torch does work the best.
Cool guy shit.
I like to warm it up. I warm it up all the way around. And then I start taking my drags and I move the torch around because I hate it when my OCD kicks in when one side starts burning further than the other. And I'm like, God damn it. It doesn't look aesthetically pleasing.
Like I'm even just now like learning like the proper way to drink whiskey or brandy and like
that was just apple juice. Legit apple juice.
It's not like this.
I was gonna say Thug Life. Metal's just like, fuck that 0500.
04.
That's right.
Yeah.
My boss can kiss my ass with his tongue
Saw
hanging
me
out.
down that. I'm gonna be a Viking in the morning.
Are you drunk? No, I was drunk last night. There's a difference.
Oh, God. We had some other people join. Gen
I'm not
X,
as drunk as you think I am.
That's right. I'm not as think as you drunk I am.
Exactly that.
Oh my goodness. So we have gone over time. I am trying to be mindful of Mr. Jackson's time here. First of all, chat, awesome having you in here. These Whiskey Wednesdays are a lot of fun. I've enjoyed this. Special thanks to Jackson, Big Bearded Warrior. We have thrown his information in the chat. Go get some Goon apparel. Don't be a wuss. Go get some Goon apparel. Go out. Go get your Goon apparel, and then do some hood rat
Get
shit.
your Goon on,
and go get stronger and more efficient at violence. And I'm sorry, you're gonna need to put your shake weight down. Put your shake weight down and actually pick up some weights. That's what I'm talking about. And then Metal, of course, the host.
And if you're not subscribed to Jackson, go do that right now. Like literally, why are you still here? Go do that.
You should be here. Yeah. Big Bearded Warrior, amazing channel, super positive as far as like if you're thinking about like, hey, I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna eat donuts and fucking chicken nuggets, go watch one of his shorts, and you'll be like, you know what, I need to go pick up something heavy and move it. It truly motivates me. Like I'll be sitting there with like, oh my God, it's so hot and it's gonna cause some static if I go outside. And then I'll watch that. I was like, Andrew, you're such a little bitch. Get out there and fucking go sweat. Like that's really what it's about. Yeah, go do Goon shit. And Metal, as always, thank you for hosting and setting up the studio and getting everyone in here. Gen X, Gemini, just so you know, I saw what you did with that whole curl thing and the mayonnaise. And when I see you, I love you. I'm still going to punch you square in the fucking kisser. I'm just telling you, it's going to be out of love, but it's coming. That's all I'm telling you. That was bullshit. You got me, and I don't get got very often. Sorry, that was my rant. Sorry. I fucking hate mayonnaise.
You're good.
I'm probably the only
chat.
black
I want to
guy
thank
who
you guys.
wants mayo.
No, my wife likes mayo too, bro. There's two of you. You're not alone.
My cousin does too. So.
Oh shit, we're growing in numbers.
That's right.
Chat, I want to thank you guys for joining us tonight. Thank Jackson for coming out. As always, thanking my sidekick over here for joining me, ACR. I'm guessing you guys will see him on Friday night.
I think so. We should still be on for Friday night. Can't be too crazy. I got an event Saturday I got to go to. So it won't. I'm sorry to disappoint. It won't be another 4.5 hour live of Daddy's been drinking.
When I got off work and I saw it was 4.5 hours, I was like, dude,
he's living.
What happened?
I was on, and then like at one point in time, I like got back on YouTube, and then I was like, he's still on this live. It was like,
did he quit and start another one? He hasn't peed in 4 hours. He's old. He must have.
That's the real.
I bet he's peeing in one of those empty lead slinger bottles.
He's going full feral.
That's right. What everyone doesn't know, I've got a dishwasher detergent thing that I'm pissing in down here the whole time. That's Johnny Depp style. And then I pour it on my neighbor's front porch because he's an asshole. It smells like asparagus and bad decisions.
And a little bit of gain.
Oh, shit.
Gentlemen, this has been a blast. Thank you again, Jackson. And as always, thank you, ACR, for joining, doing this. And I'm sure we'll be seeing some more shorts and everything coming from you here very soon, Jackson.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Jackson.
We'll chat.
All right.
thanks for joining us tonight. And you'll see that guy over there on whatever side he's on this time, Friday. And you'll see me on Sunday at noon. All right.
Bye, everyone.
Take care. See y'all.
Till next time, Metal out.